Good morning, children. Today we will discuss the NCERT question answers. So listen the video carefully, and if you want to write or note down, make the pause to the videos and note down the answers in your copy. Today we will be discussing all the question answers of NCERT for the chapter 1 development, which I explained last week. So going to the question, the first question is, it's a MCQ. First 3-4 questions are MCQ. Development of a country is generally determined by, so it is per capita income. Economically, all the countries are assessed on the basis of per capita income or average income. Which of the following neighboring countries has better performance in terms of human development than India? So our neighboring countries are 6-7, out of which Sri Lanka is leading to us. Assume there are 4 families in a country. The average per capita income of these families is 5,000. If the income of these families is 4,000, 7,000 and 3,000 respectively, what is the income of the 4th family? So it's a simple formula. We will sum the 3 families' income plus x divided by 4, and the total is average is 5,000. So by simple mean method, we can find it out. So it will be coming, I think, D 6,000. Now coming to the question, what is the main criterion used by the World Bank in classifying different countries? What are the limitations of this criterion? Is there any? So definitely the World Bank also takes the country's status on the basis of per capita income. Understood? So per capita income or average income is the base, and the limitations are they cannot explain the average income is distributed how. For example, if India's average income is 5,000, so there may be some people who are getting 1 lakh and some who are getting 200. So that differences it cannot trace out. Understood? So the main criteria of the World Bank is average income or per capita income. Next question. In what respect is the criterion used by UNDP? UNDP is United Nations Development Program for measuring development different from the one used by the World Bank. So UNDP takes education, health and per capita income as its base, whereas World Bank only per capita income. And countries are ranked by UNDP, and that is how it works. Next question is, why do we use averages? We use averages for better understanding and to take whole lot. अगर मुझे आपकी क्लास का रिजल्ट देखना है तो एवरेज निकालेंगे तो उसमें सभी स्टूडेंट्स इंक्लूड हो जाते हैं, इसलिए एवरेज इनकम का ये बेनिफिट होता है. आर देयर सम लिमिटेशंस? यस, ऑफ कोर्स, बिकॉज इंडिविजुअली वी कैन नॉट ट्रेस आउट, जैसे हमने पिछले क्वेश्चन में देखा. नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन इज, केरला with lower per capita has the better human development index ranking as compared to Punjab. Hence, per capita income is not a useful criterion at all and should not be used to compare states. Do you agree? So we will say yes, because if you remember in the chapter I explained you income and other goals, and I explained you if somebody is having income, living in villages, no developmental criteria he or she has, then they cannot be prosper. Along with the income, how to make that income multiply to use. So for that, education and healthy mind is required. So because of that reason, we can say that yes, it is correct. And infant mortality rate, literacy rate, it is better of Kerala than Punjab. In spite of more income in Punjab, Kerala is more prosper. This is the example. Next question is, find out the present sources of energy used by people in India. What could be the possibilities 50 years from now? So if we see now, coal and petroleum products, electricity are some of the present use sources of energy used by the people in India. Because petroleum and coal are non-renewable resources of energy, and these natural resources would be exhausted after a few years. And if they not be used justifically, then there is a possibility that we may lose these type of resources and we may not get it again. Next question. Why is the issue of sustainability important for development? In the previous question, we have seen that exhaustible resources, when we are used non-justifically, then it may eradicate, it may removed, it may be finished. So sustainable development is very, very, very important, especially the developing countries like India. It is very much important because sustainable development makes ourselves comfortable with the present use and the security for the future. Next question. The earth has enough resources to meet the needs of all, but not enough to satisfy the greed of even one person. How is this statement relevant to the discussion of development? We know what the development is all about. It is the growth and progress. According to this statement, we can see the natural resources of the earth are overused in the name of development, and it is very true. Earth provides enough resources to meet the needs of all, but today's generation has become greedy. The development for now and let it go for the future. So this is highly unsustainable use, we can say. Now next question is, list a few examples of environmental degradation. There are many. We can say burning of coal, mineral oil, the most important, deforestation, then more use of chemical fertilizers and pesticides. They are reducing the life. Now next question is data interpretation. I hope you can do it because practically orally it is difficult to explain. It is for each of item given in table 1.6, find out which country is at the top and which country is at the bottom. I think it is very much understood. By seeing the table, you can find out. In this table, as far as per capita income is concerned, top country is Sri Lanka and bottom country is Nepal. If we see the literacy rate for 15 plus years population, then top Sri Lanka and bottom is Pakistan. If we see the life expectancy at birth, again top is Sri Lanka and bottom is Myanmar. Then HDI rank in the world, Sri Lanka is on top among the given, mind it, it's not overall, among the given table, and Myanmar is at the bottom. Now next question, the following table shows the proportion of undernourishment adults in India. It is based on a survey of various states for the year 2001. Look at the table and answer the following questions. It is about Kerala, Karnataka and Madhya Pradesh. The male percentages are 22, 34 and 42% respectively, and female percentages are 18, 36 and 38. If compare the nutritional level of people of Kerala and Madhya Pradesh, so overall nutritional level, if we'll see, then many people remain backward and poor. Therefore, they don't receive proper nutrition diet. There is also a lack of educational and health facilities in many parts of the country. It is clearly seen. Can you guess why around 40% of people in the country are undernourished, even though it is argued that there is enough food in the country? It is a very big question. Describe in your own words. So we can say public distribution system does not function properly. Although our country has PDS, 9th you have studied, but its functioning at ground level is not that much appropriate so that every poor people can get the food articles or the basic requirements, which results to be undernourishment. So I hope all the question answers which I tried to clear you out must be clear. If any doubt, you can ask me. Otherwise, complete your notebook. Thank you.